So I come out this morning to do a lesson, and we're going down this country lane and we get 2 flat tyres. So both of the left wheels on my car are flat. So I didn't know that at first. I got out and I was going to just change the one tyre. So I got the spare tyre out of the boot, got the jack out of the boot, and me and the pupil both said the jack looks a bit weird. And the jack is actually bent. I put a picture on the screen of it. It's all like twisted, and I haven't used it. This wasn't because I used it. That's how it came. That's how it's been since the car was delivered brand new. So I couldn't even change the the tyre on the car. So I had to call the breakdown people. So I rang them, and they said, "You're not covered anymore." And I said, "Well, why not? How come I'm not covered?" And they said, "Well, your cover ran out a year ago." And the thing is, I don't buy my car, I lease them. So I thought, well, never mind, I'll just phone the leasing company, because I know it's covered. And the leasing company said, "Oh yeah, it's covered, but because you're not at home and because you can't get to a garage, there'll be a charge, because normally I get all my tyres free." So I'm just sitting here at the side of the road with 2 flat tyres, and I've got to wait 3 hours for this person to come and help me out. Now I assume that the tyres are going to be covered and the tyres are going to be paid for, but it's just I'll have to pay for the call out fee, whatever that is. But yeah, what a crazy 24 hours it's been. And on top of all this, we got the lockdown looming. I'm not sure whether I'll even be able to work the rest of this week or not. We've got the whole thing about the what do you call it, the self-employment help system, whatever. Are we going to get paid for having a month off or not? I've got something else big going on which I've made a video about, which you'll be seeing coming soon. It's massive news, which would normally be the first thing I would release, but at the moment it's having to take a backseat to other things, even though it's massive news that will affect pretty much everyone watching this channel, whether you've passed your test or not. And yeah, I've also got the deciding which car I'm going to have next going on. There's quite a bit going on. I know you can't see me in this video. I was going to turn the camera around, but it's just kind of set up as it is now. So the pupils had a lift home. They're alright, they've got home, and I'm just left sitting here for another... I've got another hour and a half before the breakdown people arrive. Hopefully they might come a bit sooner. But yeah, so just these things happen, the life of a driving instructor. If you are thinking of becoming an instructor, because a lot of people who watch my videos are going to train to become instructors, these things happen. And I haven't had this happen now for about 4 years, was the last time I had a flat tyre with a pupil. I've never had 2 before, but as you can see, this country lane is pretty dodgy, and it is done on the test, so we do have to teach people how to do these things. And thankfully my car has a system that tells you that you've got a flat tyre, and it tells you the tyre pressures and which tyre is going down. So I can see now on the screen, that's my phone going off, I can see on the screen that 2 tyres are, one tyre's flat, the other is going down slowly. So yeah, I shall keep you all updated, but I'm just stuck here at the side of the road waiting for the breakdown people to come and help me change this tyre. Can't believe the jack is bent. I mean, the jack is completely kind of twisted. It kind of came out of the factory wrong or something. But anyway, that's all for now. I'll let you know what happened when things are fixed. Hello, so it's now about 20 past 12. I'm still waiting, got about another hour to go. And I thought I'd give you all a great tip. And this is something that I always tell people to do. And I'm so glad that I did this myself. And it sounds funny, it's one of the things you think, oh, I'll never need to do that. You should always carry a bottle in the boot. So any idea why you should carry a bottle in the boot? And any idea why it's a lot easier for a man to be sitting at the side of the road in a breakdown than a woman? I'm not going to say any more than that, but this is something you need to consider, and I am prepared for any eventuality. is all I'll say. I've got a spare coat in the boot. I've always got things like gloves. I've usually got water and food, but I haven't got any at the moment because of all the stuff that's going on. I'm keeping it all out the car. But yeah, so not the best place to break down. As you can see, that thing was getting past, but I've pulled over as far as I can. But yeah, be prepared for breakdowns because they will happen. Doesn't matter what kind of car you've got. Doesn't matter. I've had times when I've been in the garage and I've come out of the garage with a brand new tyre, and I remember going straight over a nail, and I had to turn around, go back in the garage that I'd just left and get another brand new tyre that couldn't repair it. Yeah, I've had that happen. I've had loads of things happen over the years. Always be prepared to break down. And to be fair, it hasn't happened for a long time, as I said about 4 years ago. But yeah, I did say to the pupil, at least it's not raining. And it started raining. But I have got an umbrella in the car, and I've got my coat. And it was more awkward than usual, because of course with all the no touching stuff and social distancing, yeah, it's been quite an awkward breakdown, but I'm still waiting. Should be here within about 50 minutes. So yeah, I shall let you know how it goes. Hopefully they'll be able to change both tyres. And yeah, I'll let you know how much it costs. They should only charge me for the call out because the company I rent the car from pays for the tyres. And I just don't know how it's going to work with all that. So yeah, I'll let you know when I found out. Hello, so while I wait, I thought I might as well talk about some tips on what to do when you break down in a car. Now normally the best thing to do is to stay away from the vehicle. It's not normally recommended to sit in a vehicle that's broken down. And the reason for that is that people can drive into your car. Sometimes people get distracted staring at a car that's broke down or damaged or something like that. But at the moment, it is raining quite a bit and I'm on a very quiet road where I can see what's going on, like the car behind me turning around. So I'm choosing to stay in the vehicle, and I've got the windows down because of all the all the safety stuff, health and safety stuff. So yeah, it's different depending on where you are, what kind of road you're on. And the advice, like on the motorway, if you're watching this from abroad, what you might call the freeway, the highway, the advice is often, if you're a man, get out of the car, and if you are a woman, stay in the car. Now this is a really nasty thing to talk about, but it does happen, and you may as well know this. There are people who drive up and down motorways, especially in the dark at night, and they do nothing more than look out for women that have broken down. And yeah, you get people who drive around and they simply pick up women, pretend to help you, they just pull over and they grab them, put them in the back of a van, and they're never seen again. And that does happen. Unfortunately, it's quite a big thing, especially with younger women. What happens to them? Well, they get sold, quite simply. I'm not going to go too much into this because this is about driving, not about this other stuff. But yeah, it does happen. If you are a woman and you break down and you're on your own, the advice is to lock yourself in your vehicle. Of course, it depends on what the situation is. It does apply to men as well. You know, there are people who have abducted men and whatever. Abducted, not whatever I said then. But yeah, you do have to be aware of these things. Now on this road it's highly unlikely to happen because it's the middle of the day. This is quite a posh, affluent area. It's a very quiet road. But if you break down like on a motorway, you do have to be careful of these things. And it's easy to say, oh, that would never happen. It does happen. Unfortunately, I'm sure if anyone watches this, like police or whatever, I know some police officers watch my videos, I'm sure you've heard of things like that, where people get abducted after they're broken down. So anyway, it's now half an hour until the breakdown arrives. And I've had a phone, well, I phoned them for something to do, and they said, you won't have to pay for the tyres. I said, you won't have to pay anything today. And if it's an emergency, which it is because you've got 2 flats, I said, we probably won't charge you anything. So overall, it may just cost me a cancelled lesson this afternoon. But it looks as though all lessons may be cancelled soon anyway with what's going on, so I might end up just wishing that you can't see me, I know, but I'm just laughing then. I might end up wishing I'd just taken a month off. But anyway, yeah, if anyone ever thinks that being a driving instructor is boring, sometimes people say, "I want a boring, dull job." It's not boring, I can promise you. It's never boring. Anyway, the power's going to go off in a minute, so I'll be back soon. I thought that was a breakdown, people, and it's Severn Trent Water. I don't think they're going to be able to do much to help me. Hello, I'm back again. So just in case you wonder how long it takes on average, if you get a breakdown or a flat tyre or something, well, my experience is, and I've broke down quite a few times, there are other videos on YouTube showing me breakdowns. My experience is the minimum you'll be waiting is 2 hours. It's normally around 3. So whenever you take out breakdown, they always tell you things like, oh, we have a call out time of half an hour, or we get to most people within 40 minutes or whatever. I wouldn't believe that. It's always around 2 to 3 hours in my experience. If you're in a vulnerable position, so say if you're on a motorway or something, they do tend to come to you faster, and that's why they prioritise people in bad positions. But if like this, you're just stuck on the road, I wouldn't, don't go counting the minutes for them to arrive, because it could be quite a long time. It's now been, I think this happened about 10:30. It's now coming up to 1:15. So yeah, should be here soon, and the plan is for them to change 2 tyres. Hopefully that'll be it. Shouldn't be any other damage, because it wasn't really a big hit. Sometimes you get steering damage, suspension damage. I've never ever had that in all the bumps I've ever had, and this was a very light kind of drop off, a bit of a, you can see the road in front there is a little bit damaged, that's what it was. So should just be 2 new tyres, or at the very worst 1 new tyre, put the spare on, at least I can get going and get home and get another one tomorrow or something. So yeah, about 8 minutes to go now. Just waiting to be well, the tyre pressure's gone down now to 0.5. I've got a thing in this car where you can see the tyre pressure of each tyre from inside the car. All cars now have a system where it beeps if you get a flat tyre, but this one you can actually see. So the front left tyre, which is the front near side to give it the proper name, is 0.5, the rear's 0.0, and the other two are 2.1. So I can see the front left tyre is going down slowly. And just in case you don't know this, the thing about tyres, you don't get proper spare tyres anymore. Why not? Well, a few years ago now, about 10 years ago actually, car manufacturers realised that they could get away without giving everyone a spare tyre. So what you do now is you either get this kind of, it's like a thing you put on a tyre, and it's what you call it, I can't think of the word now, it's like a kind of glue that kind of expands like a foam. So you put this can on your tyre and you open it and it expands and it fills it with foam, with something like that. It's just enough to get you home or to get it to a garage. This car doesn't do that. This car has got a spare tyre, but it's not a full size one. It's about kind of 3 sizes whatever below what this would be. So you can only go up to 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometres an hour on that spare tyre. So it's to save boot space, that's why you no longer get a full size spare tyre. And even if you add one as an option, it's quite weird when you buy a car new, you can tick the option to say I want a full size spare tyre, but you still don't get a full size spare tyre. I don't know why they call it that. It's bigger, but it's still not full size, and you can still only do 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometres an hour speed on that tyre. But I remember one thing once, people often ask me, what's the thing that you never captured on camera that you wish you had? Well, about 20 years ago now, I saw a brand new Porsche Boxster, so a very fast sports car, and it had 3 spare tyres on. Now I don't know why they had 3 space saver, what you call a space saver spare tyre, but they had 3 of them on, and they were doing about 90 miles an hour. I'll never forget that. I was on a motorway. They had one full-size tyre and 3 space savers. Anyway, I'll go again now, and I'll be back in a bit. Hi everyone, so yeah, I'm back, it's all done. They came about 1:30 eventually, so I was there for 3 hours. And yeah, it feels fine. I didn't have to pay anything. I'll let you know about that, but you know, the deal of guys will get unlimited tyres free. So it doesn't matter if it's like damaged or worn or whatever, I get unlimited. Not free, because you know I pay for each month in the rental, but it's nice when things like that happen and you don't have to think about the cost. But will there be a call out charge? We'll see. But at least I'm back on the road and it feels fine. There's no damage to the steering or suspension. All it was at the end was a tiny cut on the inside of the tyre. It was about 1 centimetre, that's all it was, just a tiny little cut on both tyres. But yeah, no other damage. And I did say to me, you know, get the jack looked at, because I should get a free replacement jack, seeing as the car's only coming up to 3 years old. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you've had some good tips on what to do, what not to do. And the person who helped me is now following me, now driving behind me, so I better not go and get another flat tyre here, otherwise I'll look stupid. Anyway, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then please do so. Give this video a thumbs up to show me you enjoyed it, and check out the other videos on the screen, and I'll see you again soon for more videos.